trips and going on vacations is one of my favorite things to do, and it's probably one of yours as well. But what happens when your in-laws want to tag along? But before I get into all that, let me welcome you back to my channel. My name is Ayana, and this is Beyond Committed, where we talk about everything from life, faith, family, marriage, motherhood, and everything in between, and we take them beyond. If this is your first time here, welcome, and I'm so glad you stopped by. And to make sure you're not a stranger, make sure you press that subscribe button below and then turn your notifications so you don't miss a video. All right, now let's dive right in. I love to go and explore new places and just try new things. I know when my husband Eric and I first got married, travel was our thing. If I could get a few days off, 3 or more, I'm like, okay, where do you want to go? We booked last minute trips. We flew everywhere, drove everywhere. We were just doing all of it because we know that, it was a time just to live and enjoy yourself. And then when our daughters started coming along, we're like, okay, we weren't as spontaneous as we once were because, with kids, you got to kind of plan a vacation. But that didn't stop us. All 3 of our girls have passports. They've flown. They love hotels. They love car rides. They love all of it. And it's such an important part of our family. It's such a part of what we want to show our girls, to just explore the world, to just enjoy and just do all the things. And vacations are a great way to do that. And as our girls got older, we realized that we didn't just want to keep our vacations just our little family. We wanted to expand it a little. And that's when our in-laws start coming in. And although it's not always easy, and I know everybody doesn't have the best relationship with the in-laws, going on vacation with your in-laws does not have to be as overwhelming, as stressful as you may think, and it can actually be very fun. And there are 5 things that I want to share with you to make sure that your next vacation with your in-laws is not only fun, you don't only have a good time, but it's something that you want to do again. The first thing you have to do when you want to go on vacation with your in-laws is to plan ahead. Now, this I know may seem like elementary, but it's so important because no one wants to feel rushed or pressured into doing anything and going anywhere. So you have to make sure you're giving everybody time to think about it. Where do they want to go? How long do they want to be there? How much money are they willing to spend? All of this is important. And all of this takes planning and time. So it's so important, especially when you're planning something other than just with you and your husband or with you and your family, is to make sure that everybody has ample time to decide, to plan, to save, to do whatever. And also realizing that everybody's schedule and life situations are different. So they have to plan accordingly, whether it's to take off work or, make sure the dog is set or whatever the case may be. It's so important that you've given everybody time so nobody's stressed and overwhelmed and feel like, I just can't do it because I just didn't have enough time. You don't want that to be a barrier and don't want that to be added stress on your trip. And another thing that planning ahead does, it helps you save money. You buying a ticket a month in advance and you buying a ticket 6 months in advance can be a huge difference on your budget, or booking a house or a hotel or whatever the case may be. So it's so important that when you are going on a trip with the in-laws, you are making sure that you are giving both them and yourself enough time, and planning ahead is how you do it. And the second thing that you have to do to make sure your trip with your in-laws is an enjoyable experience is to make sure you divide up responsibilities, because no one wants to feel like everybody has all the say or everybody's doing anything. And by this, it can be anything, whether it's, okay, we're booking the hotels, or, everybody does their own flights, or I'll do all the flights and you book the hotel, or maybe you plan some excursions, or you plan where we're going to eat, or whatever the case may be. There's so many different options based on where you're going and what you want to do. But it's so important that everybody has input and everybody feels like they are doing something. I know my husband and I had took a trip with our in-laws, and we booked like this beach house, and everybody kind of drove down, and it was such a fun experience. But in order to make sure that everybody was included, we kind of divided up things. So we got the house and did all that, and then my in-laws, they booked the big van for us to drive down in once we flew into Texas. So it was a way for everybody to have kind of like a part in the trip and everybody feel like they were contributing, but also for everybody to feel like they, had a say, because in the midst of doing all the planning and stuff, sometimes you can get lost in, okay, well, is anything about me, or, am I having any part of it? And then some people can feel a certain kind of way. So we always want to make sure that when you're taking a trip with your in-laws, that you're giving everybody opportunity to have a say, time in planning ahead, but also responsibility to kind of do different things, whether big or small. It doesn't have to be a big part of the trip, but it can be something so everyone feels a part of and everybody feels that they contributed in some way. And the third thing to do when you're going on vacation with your in-laws is to make sure there's enough activities and everybody has enough space. Because I mean, everybody's idea of what's fun, everybody's interests are different. So it's so important that you take those into account and you have enough options for everybody to kind of do things they want to do. Yes, you will have group activities, things you all do together, but you also need to have some options for people who want to do something else or want to be alone or whatever it is, because you don't really live together on a regular basis for the most part. So when you're all coming together, yeah, it's great for a little while, but after a while, I mean, people get on each other's nerves. I mean, in my own house, my daughters get on my nerves sometimes. I probably get on their nerves. My husband and I get on each other's nerves. And sometimes we need enough space from each other, and we all live together. So think about that when you're coming together with your in-laws, making sure that everybody has enough space to okay, we need some downtime, whether it's like scheduled downtime, like, oh, okay, this morning we're going to go do all these things. And then for the afternoon, everybody's kind of on their own to space to do whatever they want to do or nothing at all. And that's okay. It's so important that when we are planning vacations and when we're going and doing things with the in-laws, we are mindful of that, because we don't always live together or live close to each other. So it's so important that we're mindful of each other's interests and wants, and also giving each other space, because that can save your vacation. And the fourth thing you got to do when going on vacation with your in-laws is to make sure you're not overscheduling. Now, I know vacations are a way to explore and see and try new things, but they should be fun, not stressful. And having something to do every moment of the day, and look at your watch. What time is this? We're going here, we're going there, and then boom, 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 every single day is not everybody's idea of a good time. And we want your vacation to be a good time, and you want it to be something that you can do again and go someplace new and try new things. So it's so important that when you go on vacation with the in-laws, and even when you go on vacation with your family or your girls or whatever, make sure you're not overscheduled. Make sure you're not stressing yourself out on the vacation. And then when you get home, you need a vacation from your vacation because you didn't have a moment to breathe. And it's so important that you are mindful of that going into it, realizing that everybody's idea is going to be different of kind of what they want to do, how they want to go. And it's important to have scheduled activities and things to do, especially when you're bringing a bigger group together, so everybody feels like, people are being intentional. But you don't want to make sure that every moment of your day is scheduled. Your vacation should be fun and relaxing. And the fifth thing to remember when going on vacation with your in-laws, and probably the most important one, is to be flexible. Life happens. Nothing goes 100% according to plan, especially when going on vacation with a bigger group of people. So you have to keep that in mind. Even if you planned ahead, you've scheduled downtime, you've divided responsibilities, you have not overscheduled, you've done all of the things you can do. And life is going to happen. Flights can get changed. Hotels cannot work out. Somebody has to adjust because of a work schedule. Whatever. Being flexible is something that is going to serve you well, not just during the planning process, but on the vacation. Because, sometimes you have a plan about the day and it's like, well, it rained, or, everybody's like, I don't really want to do that today. Can we do something else? So, you got to kind of take a breather. Even if it's something you really want to do, and realize it's not about getting something done. It's not about following everything according to plan. It's about creating memories and having fun. And it's about creating memories that are great enough for you to want to do it again. So remember that in the midst of trying to get it all done, plan ahead and all of that, that being flexible is one of the most important things that you got to do. All right, that's it for today. And I want to know, have you ever gone on a vacation with your in-laws? If not, will you plan one soon? Let me know in the comment box below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and then make sure you press that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video. All right, now, until I see you again, bye.